Hey, how's everyone doing out there today? Slampig Magoo, welcome back to the channel. As always, I like to start these things off by thanking you guys for coming back and checking out these videos time after time. If this is your first one, maybe after you watch the video, if you like it, maybe you could consider throwing the video a like, or maybe even the channel a subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. But, as always, it's another day, another disaster, you guys. As always, I rolled out of bed. I made myself my morning coffee and everything. I sit down on my couch, and I fire up my little laptop. I grab my phone to see if I have any notifications. The morning routine. You getting all your rigs set up and everything. And like right when you fire these things up, you get like the landing page. That's when these platforms hit you with like the main propaganda. That's when they just drill the message they're trying to send at you across. And one of them actually caught my eye. And I seldom click on these things because I know they're just propaganda bullshit, But I look at the article, and it's something about like all these new legislations being passed for like online, censorship basically, you know what I mean? But they're always throwing around these terms, radicalization, And, I'm reading through the article and everything, and you see all these little examples and everything. And I was looking at it, and it hit me for a second, like, holy shit, you guys, I think I'm being radicalized. They run down like the little list and everything like that, and I'm reading them, and I'm like, applies, check mark, all the way down this whole little bullshit article, and I click it off, and I'm like, oh, that's just, like corporate, no, not corporate, but it's just, like political propaganda, you know what I mean, just trying to beat you down for your political and social opinions, trying to make you feel like you're on the fringe, like you're on the outside, Because the last thing that they want you to do is to understand that your message is actually very widely popular and very well received, So they throw these terms like extremist and radicalization out at you, But it struck me for a second in my morning pre-coffee haze as I sat there on my couch reading this little article through, And maybe if I adopted their standard and took an honest inventory of my life and what's going on, could I honestly answer whether or not I was being radicalized? Guys, I have to know, man. I have to know whether or not I'm being, thrust down the highway of extremism. So, first off, before we get too far into this, let's take a quick second to get the definition. Let's see what we're really talking about here when we talk about some extremism, shall we? All right. The definition of radicalization is a process by which an individual or group comes to adopt increasingly extreme political, social, or religious ideals and aspirations that 1. Reject or undermine the status quo, or 2. Reject and or undermine contemporary ideas and expressions of freedom of choice. Well, that is their definition of radicalization. I have, probably more issues with this definition than I should. Starting very on the very first line, that it is a process by which an individual or group, comes to adopt increasingly extreme political, social, religious ideals, whatever. The term process, that leads a little bit up to interpretation in my eyes, just the word, when I think of it, it sort of involves an element of choice, like you're choosing to undergo this process, and that is just simply not what we have going on, here in America, at least that I feel, I feel that people are being dragged down the radicalization process just by the experiences of day-to-day life, the status quo, so to speak, right there in the definition, so I mean, I have to reject this whole thing. A process by which an individual or group comes to adopt increasingly extreme political, social, or religious ideals. Okay, come to adopt increasingly extreme ideals. Especially in the arena of politics, social goings on or the arena of religion in this country. What I mean, I don't see it. We are living in extreme times. You know what I mean? And it seems that any pushback to that is now radicalization. The tables are turned, my friends. Today, in modern day America, contemporary America, the radicalized, the extremist, is nothing more than a glorified traditionalist. You know what I mean? We just reject the current day. We reject the modern thing. It's just not our it's not our cup of tea. You know what I mean? We look back towards an era in our history where we were more consolidated as a culture. We were more consolidated as a people. We had the sense of direction that we don't have today. Due to the affects pretty much of our government. The unchecked immigration, the war on traditionalist culture, on white America. So I mean, to adopt increasingly extreme political, social, or religious ideals in the face of accepting what is given to us it's asinine on its face. You know what I mean? Why would we want to knowingly accept the death of our culture, the death of our way of life, of our very bloodlines? We're being exterminated tactfully. You know what I mean? Why would anyone in their right mind, with a true connection to their history, not want to adopt these extremist political, social, and religious ideals that mock this new status quo? You know what I mean? It's just simply not beneficial to our people. And that I think is where the tag of being a radical, being an extremist, really gets to you. You know what I mean? If you don't accept, living in a neighborhood where you can't understand your neighbors, you're all of a sudden radicalized. If you believe in a workplace where you can communicate effectively in one language throughout the entire building, front to back, production to management, you are an extremist, you bigot. These very simple safeguards to our culture and traditions, to our way of life, insisting upon these in such a way that benefits our people today is just, seen as extremism. It's seen as becoming radicalized. You know what I mean? And it's just simply not the case. We have we got another little diagram I pulled up here off the internet here, the pyramid model of radicalization. Starting off at the bottom with the sympathizers, who are people who might agree with causes but not violent means. That is the very lowest tier of the pyramid, obviously symbolizing it has the greatest amount of supporters. All right, moving up one level from the sympathizers, we have the supporters, who will justify illegal, violent actions. Those are the supporters. A tier up from them are the activists, legal, nonviolent actors, support network, and potential recruits. And the very top of the radicalization pyramid is, obviously the radicals, who are illegal, violent actors. Now, if this is what we're looking at, anyone who sees this might want to place themselves somewhere on this pyramid. You know what I mean? And I think as a whole, I see us somewhere going from the yellow to the orange. We are rapidly approaching the time where good people are going to have to do bad things in this country to restore any sort of semblance of law and order, to try to re-energize our dilapidated empire. You know what I mean? And by we, I mean people like you and I. We are the architects of the American experience. If we do not pull it back under our control, it will be lost forever. Everything that we built will be lost. And I see a lot of Americans today. I think we're slightly past the yellow mark. We're moving forward into orange. You know what I mean? And I don't really see anything going back, my friends. The next few months are going to be hell on earth here in this country leading up to the next election. And once those results come in, I think we are going to be in red territory. We are going to see, we're going to see hard times ahead. I'm just going to leave it at that once those election results come in, And, at that time, who could deny being radicalized when you see your birthright being sold for pennies on the dollar to the global stage? You know what I mean? Who cannot be radicalized when we see our own elected leaders, the people who we trust with our safety and security, simply holding the doors open for illegal actors to come in and wreak whatever havoc they want on our country, even flying them over the border in ultimate comfort, to the cities where these people most likely could prosper in their own way, wherever they could rob the most, wherever they could get the most in government assistance, You can't help but feel radicalized. You can't help but feel like you are an extremist in such an environment when, America's historical majority have been beaten down in such horrible ways, told that our cries for help are bigoted and that they will not be answered to. You know what I mean? We are just simply a whipping post now for our government, for the globalist elite who are vacuuming every ounce of wealth out of our monetary system. In the face of that, can you hold it against anyone for being radicalized? Can you hold it against anyone for holding extremist viewpoints at this time? Because really, radicalization is the only step forward. You know what I mean? Extremist action is going to be required for us to maintain any sort of reasonable standard of living that benefits us moving forward. Simply, we cannot wait any longer. We cannot let terms like extremist, radical stop us anymore. At racist, bigot, whatever, phobe. You know what I mean? These barriers to our advancement need to be broken down, shattered, and we need to just march over them and just continue moving forward. Taking inch by inch of our country back. The result of not doing this is just simply the death of our people. We cannot move forward with that anymore. And even saying those words and understanding the finality of the statements that I'm making and the impact that they receive. I really don't feel like an extremist. I really feel like I am simply echoing the opinions of your average modern day Main Street, actual American, real Americans. So, I don't know. Am I becoming radicalized? Yeah, maybe I am. You know what I mean? Is it for the better? Fuck yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. So, I don't know. Hey, I'm really just rambling again. I have a horrible, habit of just making these rambling videos that drift from topic to topic. I got to thank you for staying and listening to the end. If you want, let me pull this back up here in the comments section. If you yourself feel like you are radicalized, tell me what color on the chart you feel like that you are currently existing in. You know what I mean? Maybe you're just getting your fresh cut. You're getting your toes dipped into the waters of revolution for the first time, and you're over in the green section at the bottom. I'd love to hear about that. If you feel like you're full on, ready for the shot heard around the world, you're up there at the top of the red, feel free to grade yourself wherever you're at. You know what I mean? I'd definitely like to see where other people are in this mess. But, also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time through your YouTube channel, you will get a live stream from yours truly. I run live from the pig pen here every Sunday. It's just a little group community chat, a little something for us all to get together and say hi to each other and shoot the shit about modern day things. But, we do that whole party Sundays at 7. You're always more than welcome to come by. And, I don't know, until the next time we meet, take good care of yourself, be well, and stay out of trouble, okay?